You're listening to the Brunch Buddies Podcast.
With champagne wishes and caviar dreams.
Welcome to the Brunch Buddies Podcast.
Oh, you nailed it, dude.
Oh, beautiful.
Look at that.
God, you're so fake. I am Brad Stoll.
And I'm Santi Espinosa.
Fucking kidding me? Are you kidding?
What's going on, guys?
What's going on, guys? This is the first EP of this. Our podcast is sponsored by Santi's GoFundMe page to get him a real fucking bed.
Guys, there's nothing like this. New York City, dude. You can't have like single beds make sense in this fucking city.
No, it doesn't at all.
There's no space.
Unless you
I live in a shoebox. Like that's.
You do not live in a shoebox. It's not a shoebox.
I don't know. I just girls make fun of me for having a single bed. Whatever.
See, this makes me realize that you're in finance, just condescending. It's like I don't live in a big apartment, just a studio by myself. You know, it's not a big
guys.
deal.
See, if you want a career that pays money, go into finance.
Stupid
I love
asshole.
the body pillows, though. I love a good body pillow.
Yeah.
Yes.
No, it's fucking awesome.
Well, let's introduce our guest, I guess, because he, of course, we want to let him in. This is Jesse Eigner.
Hola.
Welcome. Thank you for doing this, man.
Thanks for having me. I'm excited.
And he runs the Feeling Funny podcast. Feel free to check that out. It plays every
Wednesday or so.
That's very consistently.
Yeah,
Consistently
or so.
Consistently or so. That's great.
I haven't listened to the podcast, but I'm going to.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
It hasn't been good yet. I'll let you know when it's good.
He had Joe List though. Like Joe List.
Oh, dude,
it was your first episode,
Yeah,
right?
that was a good episode.
Oh, he's such a good guy.
I love Joe List.
He's amazing.
He tells great stories. He really carried the podcast.
Yeah.
We're just gonna plug him in Tuesdays with Stories.
Yeah.
With Joe and Mark Norman.
He was he headlined the recent show we did at Eastville.
Oh, nice.
He was. Oh, dude, he's so funny.
How do you do?
Great.
It was a check spot. They dropped the checks.
Check spot.
They
It
fucking
was not
dropped-
supposed to be. The way I told them like, just give them like, they were supposed to do it in the middle of Tristan's set, and they forgot. And then like
That's
I say now,
bullshit.
oh, Joe List, guys, give it up for like the headliner who's been on Letterman and like he's actually a big deal. And then like and they just dropping the checks as he's like going. He's like, oh, well, isn't that the dream come true as a comic? Just headlining a show where they're just dropping the checks. And he played it off real good, and like it was a good crowd.
He was a great sport about it.
Yeah,
He's a killer.
Oh my god.
Born killer.
dude.
The best was when he came up to you and he's like, oh no, you're a good looking. What did he say? He's
In Canada, like he's known in Canada for like he does a lot of I met him 3 years ago at the Comedy Works, and
In
I was
Canada?
Yeah.
Oh wow.
And people were like, oh, like you guys kind of look alike. Like a guy, like a girl's like, you kind of look like Joe List.
Much better version.
And he's like, I told him that, and he's like, dude, you're way more handsome.
He's got crooked teeth and like
he's
small mouth.
He's apparently dating a comic though. Do you know who that is?
Yes, Sarah Tolamash.
Oh, nice.
Never seen her.
I haven't seen her either.
That's good. We're moving swiftly on that.
Yeah.
I don't watch female comics. That's just my thing.
He's the kind of.
Do you not? Oh, this is actually really interesting. I actually want to know about this. What's your theory on that? Why do you not?
Oh, I was just kidding. You think I don't watch female comics?
Oh my god. No, I feel like there are, dude. I could name drop a bunch.
I actually
I'm not
love
going
female
to.
comics.
I love them.
Silverman's probably my favorite. Sarah Silverman's my favorite comic.
Oh, really?
Oh, she's
brilliant.
Yeah.
What do you think? Because like I really thought Jesus and Magic is her best special, and after that, I wasn't a big fan of the next one she had.
I like the one she did on HBO, the small venue.
Oh
San
yeah.
Francisco.
I didn't really watch that one though.
I like that one.
just as a callback. Like Joe List is probably like the guy when I was 6 months in when I met him, and I was like, oh, that's what I want to be doing for like he was so funny. He was so
himself. You could tell like it was there's no act there. It's like him telling jokes as him.
Yeah, I was like, I need to do this, and the fact that he was like, I talked to him again like 2 weeks ago. I was like, Jesus Christ, it was like
It's a mind.
It comes full circle.
Yeah.
Yes, it does.
And so that segues to the first question, like how stand-up comedy? What was that like? Was that something that you wanted to do from the get-go, or
Like starting it?
Yeah.
Starting to do it? I don't know. I was always a big comedy nerd, like growing up. I don't think I ever pictured myself being able to do it. Like I was always the shy kid and kind of quiet. Then I think after college, like I had a couple of shitty jobs, and I realized I wanted to do something creative. And I was in advertising. I wanted to do copywriting.
Join the club, man.
Yeah, shitty world of advertising.
I'm not going to comment on that because I don't know who's going to answer this. I love my job. I don't have bits about that or anything. But
no, not at all.
Not at all.
No opposites from Brad.
No office bits, but that's great, man. And you, I know. Speaking of shitty jobs, you were the ball boy for the Nets. I remember that. You mentioned that.
That was my dream job. Senior year of high school, I worked for the Nets. And they were still in New Jersey when no one gave a hoot about the Nets. Oh man, stealing material.
You have
set me up,
and you have a great bit about that about the Jason Kidd bit. Where you're just like,
he said my pants are too tight. So I told him to stop beating his wife. It's like a talk show. You're setting me up for bits.
I'm sorry. It was perfect. The segue was there, and I'm like, I'm going to take it. I'm going for the leap. So start doing the invisible zip-ups like Conan. Like,
hilarious. Do you remember the first time you went on stage?
Yeah. I think it was at the Village Lantern.
Oh, God.
Well, actually, I signed up for 2 open mics. It was last summer. It wasn't that long ago.
Oh, what? Really?
Yeah. I started last May.
But it's a year.
Yeah.
So you have this is like
is it officially a year now?
Yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, dude.
What was it? May 1st you did?
I remember the date.
Oh really?
I remember the date. But it was in May. I think it was end of May.
And it was Laughing Buddha.
Laughing Buddha. I signed up twice before then, and I went there, signed up, and then I left because I got like a panic attack. Just got so nervous. Oh,
wow.
And then the third time I was like, as long as you go on stage, that's a victory. Like you can't care how you do. If you bomb, it's fine. As long as you're going on stage. I made the goal just to be on stage. And I went on stage and did decent. Then I got hooked.
You got laughs on your first try.
I got a couple laughs, but it was also awkward and like definitely wasn't great.
Did you bring friends with you to go watch you?
No, I didn't want anybody to know about it.
Oh wow.
That was the biggest thing. Also, probably stopping me from doing it because I didn't want anybody to think that I thought that I was funny.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Really, that's interesting when people get like the insecurities of not wanting to show.
Do you remember your first time, Brett?
I do. It was. This is ironic as hell. It was September 12th, the day after 9/11.
When it actually happened.
No. It was the day after. I'm like, this is the only way I'm going to cope with this. Inspired by like, so many terrorists. Best way I'm going to do is talk about it to a bunch of random people. No. No. It was September 12th of 2014. So yeah, like about 6-7 months ago.
Yeah.
At this point, I was at Broadway Comedy Club. I brought my sister.
Oh, so you first was a bringer.
No. I just told them to come.
Oh, that's
see, like I did acting, so like I'm like, oh, everyone come watch me. Like I'm dumb. Like I'm not like that full of myself, I think. And they came. It was like my sister, 2 of my acting friends, my friend Nick, who told me to do an open mic with him because he did Eastville once, so he wanted to try stand up, and my friend Jason, you know. And I went. I wrote jokes with my buddy who's a comedian in Michigan. I remember I was holding the mic like a cock, just like gripping it, like almost church pose, like praying that I wasn't going to throw up on stage. And I bent over, I watched that video actually, and I wanted to kill myself. No one laughed at all. Ooh. And after my sister goes, well, if you ever want to invite me again, don't talk about your penis or who you fuck on stage. And I'm like,
oh my God.
Okay. And then my friends looked at me, and I'm like, I'm never doing this again. Never gonna do this again. And
was it worse because you had friends there?
Yeah, I was so embarrassed, and
that's my nightmare.
And I went. They are like, the thing is, they're all actors, so they're like, no, you're gonna keep doing this. And they were literally the pushing force for it. Mm-hmm. One of the kids I did acting with I did a 6-week program prior to that. I hated it. I failed. I didn't like it. I did acting for so long. I realized I didn't like acting, and then my friends were like, "No, you're gonna keep doing this." And I went with my friend to Buddha that night because he didn't get on. They screwed him over. They thought he didn't pay. I didn't pay either, but they saw my name. They assumed I was paying.
So you just got on for free?
I got on for free. I paid, but like they didn't put him on. They're like, "Oh, I'm sorry, we're out of space." You know, at Broadway, they'll throw like 10 people in front of you just because they know people. And then we went to Buddha. We went to Climate. Mm-hmm. My buddy went on and ate shit. Never did comedy again.
Wow, really?
Yeah.
So a lot of people like start with you and they're like halfway. They're like, yeah, I'm not.
Dude, it wasn't even halfway. It was his 3rd mic, and he quit.
Think about like when I first started, I had like a lot of friends, and then like 6 months in, I had no friends.
That were doing comedy?
No, that but like you know, when like in Montreal it's very different because I started in Montreal, and like open mics are like kind of like bringers. You know, like you called the comedy club. You're like, you know, can I be on the show on Monday or Wednesday, or whatever, or you email them, and they're like, cool, bring like 4 people.
Gotcha. So you do bringer shows instead of mics?
But that's like an open mic. That's what.
That sucks.
Well,
that's the same way that happens in Florida because the Improv is like one of the spots you can do open mic. You have to bring 10 people.
Huh. Yeah.
And it's like that's a bringer on steroids.
Yeah,
it's like Gotham Comedy Club spot.
Yeah, that's what it is, right? It's
10 or 15.
Oh God.
Oh my god.
Bring an audience with you is what they're asking.
But anyway, so I remember like asking my friends like every time I get booked on the mic, like, hey, you want to come support? Like, you want to come to the mic? And like the first 2 months, they're like, yeah, I do. You're so funny, you're great. And like after 3 months, it's like, we hate you.
Oh,
We
I
want nothing to do with you.
You feel that they're getting milked for their money.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah.
of course.
Yeah, they're like, yeah, we don't want to hear you talking about things that we don't agree with.
Yeah.
I stopped I remember the first couple months, I was just blasting that I was doing stuff. Like, I'm like, come over to Climate, because I have Village Lantern, and Climate used to be just like it was a safe haven, but I was bombing every time.
Sure.
I never did well, never got laughs for the first 4 months. And
You still felt like you were alive.
but I felt,
good.
I still felt okay about myself. I hated myself, but I'm like, you know what? Everyone here is really supportive. Like,
Yeah.
I'm gonna stick around here.
No one was judging you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I didn't feel judged. I really didn't. And I stuck with that. And then when I noticed that no one was coming, I'm like, I need to stop putting this on Facebook. No one cares.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not doing shows.
I'm doing a Climate.
I'm doing a spot
8:30.
at Climate. You know, like, it's
Big
not
time,
a
big
thing.
time. Show up, guys. Support
Open
my comedy.
Give yourselves a round of applause. Someone open my comedy. What was your worst bomb?
The worst bomb. I did a Jewish show at a.
Great way to open a story. It was a bunch of Jewish people.
It was at a YJCC for like a family volunteer dinner, like family services,
no.
all like seniors, and I followed a rabbi who did like a sermon about like the Holocaust and the Israel. And
That's amazing.
That's amazing.
it just did not go well. I did.
We just like break into material like, hey, give it up for the rabbi here, killing it.
Poor choice in words. Rabbi killing it over there with the Holocaust story.
He was killing. It was really emotional. Like it was
Emotionally killing it. Yeah. Like, he was really breaking down the
mood.
mood.
It was a good sermon. Like, it was deep. He was talking about how like Israel has to step up and like. Then I went in and like I started talking about Schindler's List, like because my grandma was actually on Schindler's List. But like I started getting serious because like it couldn't be funny. It was impossibly funny following the rabbi who was so like
one of the hardest
real.
one of the hardest people to follow was a rabbi giving a sermon about the Holocaust.
This is what's fascinating to me about comedy. It doesn't matter, like you're gonna bomb, like it's gonna be a horrible show.
Yeah.
But you still go on.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's how that's kind of how I'm not gonna lie to you. That's how I felt about Comedy Matters. I'm like, I'm gonna eat shit up here because no one's listening. There was like 15 people and they're scattered, and you don't know.
The first one, MC
Yeah,
Matters.
MC Matters. Like,
how dare you trash my show?
I'm not talking. That was a bad show.
Horrible.
You literally said, "Oh, you go to a show, you know you're gonna eat shit." I'm like, I knew I was gonna eat shit at the show. I'm like, I got laughs.
Great.
I did fine, but like, I was like, the room is so weird. It's very open.
Yeah, Pioneers is guys, we're gonna do a show with Pioneers later today. So
it's not gonna matter because it's airing next week.
Hey guys, we do a show with Pioneers.
But like,
really
that's
well.
really fascinating that you bombed at if you're anywhere gonna bomb and looking for approval, it's a room full of Jewish people who are only judging you. Like, if you want to work in a room with just people arms crossed, you're not gonna be funny. It's like, why would you pick this? It's a horrible career choice. Why would you stick with this?
How you make some money here?
It's like, how much you make? Like $5? Negative $25? Like, oh, God.
Hey, that's my joke. No, I'm kidding.
$50.
$50.
I know
Yeah.
you bet. That's great, man. So you have a very particular style, though. As we segue into the bombing,
It's a bombing style. I like the.
This is
No, but, like,
this is
one
a good segue. Someone, remember the guy who told me like, hey guy, Sandy, I got to tell you, when you bomb with class.
Oh yeah,
And I'm like, what the fuck does that even mean?
That's most like backhanded compliment. But at the same time, it's like, you want to bomb with class because if you show that you hate yourself while you're bombing, people are gonna be uncomfortable.
And if they get mad at the audience, that's the worst. Especially at open mic. Like, if you're bombing, like, oh fuck you guys, you're not laughing at that. I get upset. Like,
I get upset. It ruins them. It completely, I think, dries out the energy in the room.
Yeah.
I had a kid. I'm not gonna name names, but at open mic, a kid's just like, you're all jaded, and I'm like, that's the worst thing you could say to a bunch of open mic people. Like, we're not even jaded. Number one, we're just upset and we want things to go well.
Yeah.
There are jaded people, but I'm not gonna like say that up front. Like,
Yeah.
you never mentioned. I think the second you drop the word jaded on stage, everyone stops listening to you.
usually when you're talking to the audience, you're usually projecting whatever you're feeling onto them.
Yeah.
'Cause
Right.
everyone in the audience specifically is jaded. He's like labeling the entire group of people.
Yeah.
There's plenty of jaded people.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
like it's I guess, it's the unspoken word. It's like something you say when you come off stage, like, listen, like, I just felt like that guy just was completely tearing the room apart in the worst way, just because he just hates himself.
Yeah.
Well, the thing, like, comedy, like, I don't know. This is my thought process. Like, you think when you start doing it, like, oh, it'll be like 2 years from now when I'm gonna, have my Comedy Central special. Like, you have these like ridiculous expectations of like
definitely goals.
Levels. My levels.
And then you realize there's a hierarchy of like, oh shit, like this is like a 10-year internship.
I think that's one of the greatest metaphors I've heard so far. Is that is a 10-year internship. You're putting in your time. You're gonna waste more money than you're gonna get.
Oh yeah, 100%.
And when you get paid, it's gonna be rewarding. But then you're gonna think about it as like, well, I just trashed that couple $1,000s last year at open mic.
You're investing into your like, who do you think? Like,
you're investing in yourself.
Yeah.
To pay dividends later.
Yeah.
So yeah, like your style, like we were saying before. I'm sorry we got off track, but your writing style, I would think, is very like it's very. I'm not gonna say scripted, but you know how you're gonna go up. I mean, correct me. Like, you tell me how you got to this character that you do right now.
In the beginning, I think it was really scripted, and I don't know. Right now, I've been trying to be a little bit different open mics, where I try to go up there with a premise and then try to like find why it's funny on stage.
Oh,
which has been harder.
I agree 100%. He'll tell you before. All I did was written jokes, and they would be so like. And
it just feels whiny when you go on like, hey guys, so I was at a bar recently, and I mean, it's fun.
It's all in the delivery. People don't want to feel like you're telling a joke. You're talking to them. It doesn't come out naturally if you're. Yeah. After a while, if you really practice and do the same jokes over and over, it won't be scripted anymore. It'll just come out naturally.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's when you roll into it. It's when you're doing like a little crowd work, and you're like, oh, what do you do? And I can jump. Like for me, like I can jump in my office bit very easily.
Yeah.
Whereas like. You're going up there and be like, so you ever sit at your desk with a stapler? It's like it's not as genuine. You know what I mean? And for someone like you, it's like if people don't know you, they're gonna like, is this kid like, what's going on? Is he stoned as hell right now? Like, I don't understand. And I was crying the first time. I remember Joe Strix was the one that came up to me and goes, dude, you have to watch Jesse Eigner. He's hilarious.
Where was it?
It was the first time I ever saw you go up was at Lantern, I believe. I don't really remember when. It was very early, and I never got to talk to you after. The first time I went up to you was at Lantern at the bar, and I literally just went up to him like, hey, man, I've saw you set before.
I remember that.
Yeah. But yeah, Strix was the one that told me about you, and I'm like, I got to watch him. And every time I see it, I freaking die.
Thanks, man.
I know that's brown-nosing.
I appreciate it. Warms my heart.
Dude, like, I never, like, before we just met.
Mm-hmm.
But,
this is crazy.
Here's my number.
We don't have the rights for that.
Okay, let's not do that. But I was like, this guy's super, because like you got a different approach to like, you guys, okay guys, this set's going pretty good. I'm gonna do my type five. I think that's just so like, you know what I mean? Like that's a funny. I don't know. It's a different style. Like I'm like, when you go to an open mic, there's like guys who tell the exact same joke in a set, like in different forms. Mm-hmm. Like me included, whatever. But your style is like very different. From
I couldn't picture someone doing his style unless I met a guy who was literally you.
You met a guy, or you can't?
No, I can't picture. You know what I mean? Like you are who you are.
Imagine it was just like a guy shows him like, hey guys, I'm gonna do my type 5 tonight.
Oh my god. Jesus Christ. And I remember I went to an open mic and a guy went up and he's just like, hey guys, I'm filming my sizzle reel, so you guys just sign off on this waiver before he started.
Oh.
So immediately everyone's like,
horrible.
Nah, dude, we'll sign it, but we're not giving. And no one laughed.
You don't do that before.
Yeah, that's the kind of thing at the end where you don't open you're opening up your set with, I'm doing a show, blah blah blah. No one cares.
No.
Well, the thing like open mics, like we do a lot of open mics, and the thing that I don't appreciate or that I don't like about other comics is that they don't really laugh. They don't give you the attention that you're giving them.
They're not being supportive.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, a lot of people come down on Buddha. You know this. We've all had our like remarks on them here and there when we don't agree with something. But the one thing I do agree on 100% is like, even though everyone's like, oh, let's be supportive and clap. It's like, yeah, because you're not going to get that anymore.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
Have a room that's going to give you something so you feel like your joke is working. Because if you're bombing every night, no one cares about your jokes except your 4 friends who come see you. You're not going to feel like you're doing anything.
It's like if you have 5 awful sets in a row, you start being like, everything changes. Like you start.
You want to throw away your jokes.
Yeah, you get really sad. You know, like you're not in like you got to work or whatever. Like you're in like this weird mood, where like very suicidal mood. Like and then you have a good set, and you're like, oh shit, everything's
one
different.
good set can make you feel good for like a month.
Yeah,
at least for me, if I can remember a good set, like the feeling of a good set, that can keep me going for a while.
Like, what's your favorite open mic in the city?
Probably a Laughing Buddha mic.
I miss the Lantern, dude. I really love that place. I never did well there. I did well there like twice. And I have to say, that was the one room that I enjoyed because it had this clubbish feel to it.
You know what's funny about that? Like, I know that they like took it away from Laughing Buddha and because like they were mad, whatever. I don't know what the problem is. But like they were doing such a good job. They were creating such a good community of like the Lantern. Like I would look forward to.
It was very homey.
Yeah, I would look forward to like the Friday sets or the Saturday sets.
Friday 7:45 was amazing.
And now they took it over different people, but like it's not the same. They're not doing the same mark. But I don't know what's going on. But like it's just they changed it and they messed it up. You know, like
At the Lantern.
But it's different.
Well, it is a give or take vibe. I will say this: like I have done the what is it called, Laughing Cat, or is it called Lucky Cat? Lucky Cat.
Yeah.
So let's just get extra racist, and we'll just do another Chinese Asian reference.
But the thing is, like, I like that mic is fine, is good. But the problem is, like, Laughing Buddha had a really good thing going.
It had so many different hosts. Like, it had something. It almost. I don't like saying it, but it had a showy type feel to it because everyone made you feel like you were about to go on and give a killer set.
Absolutely.
I go to open mics and every host is like, all right, the next guy going. It's like, really, dude? It's not a spelling bee. Like this is me trying to do comedy.
Exactly.
You dick. Like I can't do it.
There's nothing worse for staying at an open mic for 2 hours and then like feeling it's pointless.
Oh my god.
Have you ever been like to a mic? Well, of course you have, but like your last one.
This is a setup.
Have you ever been to an open mic and you're the last one on and you're like, I hate myself.
Oh, absolutely.
That's every Saturday at Climate for me.
It's just horrible because like you don't like I want to go on, but like you know it's gonna be awful, and then like you want to do a set list, but you're like this is fucking pointless. There's no real like my jokes are not gonna go. So you start riffing, and then your riff is even more sad.
It just digs you in a deeper tunnel of sadness and despair.
Absolutely. What I've been trying to do though, because I took an improv class like a few months ago at UCB.
Oh, UCB.
Yeah. And like it really helped me get into it, tell my mind like to imagine it was going well. Like if an open mic is like terrible energy, like normally you'd be bombing, but if you just picture that it's going well, it's kind of like a funny paradox. And I've seen that kind of work sometimes. It's like really bad, but if you just like go up there like kind of crazy that picturing it's gonna go well, it can kind of reverse itself.
Like taking I took improv classes quite a bit, and it just makes you more like aware of everything. Like,
absolutely.
Right. No,
you know, like
you can. I almost think you can read a room even better. It just helps, and people come down a lot on improv people because it's funny.
Well, they're like
because when they bomb, it's Titanic. Like it's sinking with everyone in it.
But this is like hanging out with comics and hanging out with improv people. Like it's so different. Like improv are like, yeah, guys, let's go drinking, let's go karaoke. This is gonna be so much fun. And like comics
are like, let's get stoned by ourselves.
Guys, let's just smoke some weed and fucking watch fucking nothing. Like it's a different group.
It's different energy.
Yeah.
Oh my god, they're so high energy, but that's also because I think improv is just a skill to make them more social, and that's fine. There's nothing wrong. I think that's great.
That helped me probably the most socially, just freeing me up and getting out of my own head.
It does. It really does, because in improv you cannot be in your head. You have to be in the moment. It has to be a positive, never a negative. You give someone negative, you're not helping someone out, and it's teamwork. And that's the thing that you don't get in stand-up.
Right.
There's no teamwork. You're a one-man team. You're going up there.
Fail by yourself, do well by yourself.
Exactly.
Yeah.
What would you? Because like the one thing I have to think about is like when you talk about bombing, I can't picture you bombing with that stuff. It's hard for me to think about. And I'm sure.
As that rabbi about the bombing.
It's like the rabbi. No, I mean like I can't, like watching it in my head. I'm like, it's just so funny and just so unreal because he's just satirizing himself.
Yeah.
He's like I'm killing.
It could be part because by now you know me. You've seen me enough.
That's it.
But if you haven't seen me, if no one's seen me before, and sometimes people be like, "What the fuck is he doing?" Sometimes it doesn't pay off. Sometimes like I'll do crazy shit and nothing hits at all.
Yeah.
People just don't know what I'm doing.
What do you think the craziest thing you've said in like your set? That maybe like you haven't done in a while, but you did it once and you're like, oh.
Like while I'm bombing, or to make me bomb.
I don't know. Oh, in general, like something because you're like I say crazy shit. Like what was?
Oh, what would be a horrible thing you've said that you're like, oh, that was awful.
Maybe that won't work.
Every time I do that, I talk about how I asked my grandpa what he would say if I told him I was gay. He said he would go outside and shoot himself in the face.
It's horrible.
And then I try to. My grandpa said that he wants me to. Now that he knows I'm doing comedy, he wants me to do his eulogy when he dies. So I tried doing a bit where like I tell him I'm gay and he kills himself, and then I do his eulogy. And that really, people are just like, what the fuck is he doing?
Oh, that's funny, dude. That's funny.
Maybe I should keep working on it. keep bombing.
It's just, I think for shock reasons, it's so funny. Like to say you went back and shot
it's a dark.
Well, it's dark. I mean, like, and for you, it's like you're not that dark, like in your shit. Like,
not really.
Correct me if I'm wrong. I think you're that dark.
Sometimes, not really. I try to be more just like real and kind of like bizarre, like just simple stuff that I have no idea what I'm talking about.
I will say this, actually, when I go back on my statement about people who are like you, I won't say he's like you, but he's very similar to you. And it's a different type of set, and I'm sure you've seen him go up as Andrew Castano.
Yeah. I love Andrew Castano.
And he's hilarious.
I love myself, so I was just...
I always love myself, so that's how it works. And he has that same thing. It's like, they have the idea of it's kind of like satirical, in a way, like you're making fun of the fact that you're up there.
Yeah.
But not in a deprecating way. He's just like,
there's a lot of characters.
That's a bit.
This is a comic guy. I don't even know the guy, but I know the joke. It's so funny. Where he's like, "This is a comic after having a good set." Oh, what's that?
I don't know what happened back there.
Oh wait, that. Thanks, dude.
What's that? Yeah, I don't know what happened back there. That's so true. That's so fucking true. And it's like, if you ever think to yourself, like, have you ever thought to yourself, like, not like, I guess, kind of like an inception of your joke where you're like, I'm killing up here, guys. Like, have you ever thought in your head, like, I'm killing it up here right now?
Maybe once. My first Bringer show, when I actually thought I never think I'm doing well when I'm up there. I'm really, like, super negative in my head. And I think that's why sometimes I'm able to, like, if a joke's not going well, I can like, kind of catch it by talking about why it's not going well.
Yeah.
Right.
Because I never think I'm doing well until... I record most of my mics. I listen back to it. I'm like, oh, wow, I actually got laughs there. Because I usually am very negative.
Yeah, no, I'm the same way. I come up to him and I'll like say, I hate shit up there. He's like, what are you talking about?
Seeing Brad after a bad, he's just like, he gets so fucked. Like, he's so, like, I'm very emotional too, but like, he goes to like, fuck it, I'm going home. Like, and I'm like,
I want to cry by myself.
And it's like, dude,
I'm not afraid to say
it's just a bad, like, and I get the same way, but like, you get way more emotional than me.
I'm very critical of myself. I think that comes with doing acting for so long. Is like, you just constantly want to be better than everyone.
Yeah.
And that's not how I am. Like, I don't want to be better than everyone. I want to be good. You know, I want to be good. I want to be respected. I want to be liked. I want to be very likable. That's like a goal of mine. And I think that in that thing is like when you feel like I'm the kind of guy, like I've done like those personality tests. And it's like, I know one thing about me is that I want to leave a lasting impression. And on comedy, it's huge. Like that's all you want to do is leave that impression like, I really like that kid up there tonight. He was really funny. You know, like everyone wants that feeling. And it's not, I don't think that's a cocky thing. That's just rewarding.
Sure.
Yeah.
To know that you're leaving a mark for someone to come home and say, like, I remember that bit. That was funny.
Absolutely.
Yeah. That's. I mean, I talking about the personality test, whatever. I took one. My sis made me take one, and you know they give you like a name for like what you are, like the kind of person you are. And mine was like Soft Sally.
What?
Soft Sally?
Yeah. Soft Sally?
Yeah.
It sounds like a really almost. Were they insulting you?
Yeah. They're like you're like
a personality test. Are you sure?
You're like a nice guy, but you don't say. Like, I'm not mean to anyone. Like, I'm just, like, a nice guy. Like, if I'm talking to someone I hate, I'm like, oh, yeah, dude.
Just to be friendly with them.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't say anything, like,
so awful. Do you hate me, Santi?
I don't.
Is that how it
works? No, I don't hate anyone. Like, I hate a handful of people, and they know who they are.
Who do you hate?
Let's drop some names here.
Drop some names.
No, there's people that have been really mean to me that because like there's like you know when you talk to comics like someone I'm not gonna say the name but
please, are you gonna say what I think you're gonna say? I'm not gonna say who it is, but the one we talked about earlier.
No, this is a different. No, this I might have talked about this last night, but this guy, his first 6 months doing comedy, and he said to me, he's like, listen, there are people who are good at doing comedy, and there are people who are good at watching comedy. I think you belong to the latter.
Fuckhead.
And I was
That's
like,
so
oh.
It's the shittiest thing.
Yeah. I mean, he was like, he had been doing it for like more than like a couple years, and I just 6 months. And I'm like, just like going home being like, what the fuck am I doing? Whatever. And like years later, though, like I had the guy on my show, and I asked him,
that's the nice thing about you. It's like God, you brought me down, but I'll throw you on. Like, I'm like, what the fuck is this kid to do that? Like, he just brought you down. Like,
oh my god.
Part of me is like, I'm a friendly guy. I'm outgoing. I like to be a people person. But like, if someone just fucks me, it's like I'm not gonna go
like, you. I hold grudges. Definitely.
I hold grudges.
I can't do that. Like this is a good story. The last.
Who hurt you, Santi? What was your uncle's name?
Yeah, his name was Pablo, and he. Yeah, no, listen, remember like the show we did, the Bringer we did? This is a really good story. We became really good friends because like Brad, like he's just like a nice, like kind-hearted guy. Like, you know, like
thanks, sweetheart.
And like, you know, like there's people that you want to be friends with in comedy and like outside of comedy too. I think that's a healthy thing to do. Like,
absolutely.
We are like so into this crazy world that you're like, oh no, I just want to do mics and I just text people when I want to do. No, you want to do other stuff too, so you get to know the person. And it was Brad and I were doing this bringer at the stand. I was recording my showcase for Just for Laughs in Montreal, the homegrown thing, whatever. I got like
submitting a tape. For that?
Yeah, submitting a tape. That was the second tape, and I needed to do 7 minutes. And I asked the guy who produces the show. I was like, hey, like, can I do 7 minutes? Like, no, you can't. We're all booked. You can't do 7 minutes. You're gonna do like 6. You're done. And I was like, dude, this is my chance. I need to submit the tape.
Yeah.
And Brad got 6 minutes, right? Like
he had
a ton of people, right? So he goes to the producer of the show. He says like, you know what? I'm gonna give my minute to my friend.
Wow.
And
that's a movie, right?
Yeah.
And it was there that they decided on that journey. They would do comedy together.
And the producer came out and was like, "You got friends in comedy?" And I'm like, I don't know. Like,
I've never seen Santi more upset because, like I said, he's such a nice guy. I've never seen him get angry. When I saw him get angry, I go, "This is a side of him." First of all,
I can picture you angry.
And that's the thing is, like, have you ever seen this kid be like, "Fuck you"? Like that's something you ever see happen. He literally was so broken. He was getting so negative. He's just like, oh, "Fuck this! I don't need to do this. I don't even care about this."
That's why you were there.
And that's why you're there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, dude. Like, you can't. Like, you have to do this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, we're going to make sure it happens. And he's like, and he made a joke. He's like, you should give me a minute. And I'm like, no, I'm going to. I don't need it. I don't have a tight 6. I don't even have a tight 5. Like, what? I have a tight 1. You know what I mean? Like, I don't have anything. I suck.
But that's the thing. That, like, like, there's people that...
with positive energies.
Yeah.
It's pretty rare. I think there's a lot of people that are very negative in comedy. An open mic specifically.
Oh, yeah.
That's the crazy thing. For me to make me think that I believe that it is a thing, he's been doing it for 4 years and he sounds like that. You know what I mean? Like, sure. And for me, I'm like, there's no chance that I'm going to disappear from this. Like, I know that this is my path. Like, I'm going to stick with this for as long as I can. Yeah. I'm hooked. I've always been a comedy nerd. Like, same with you. Like, I love comedy. I will look forward to shows. If someone's like a free show, let's go. Let's go check it out. I can't go to a lot of these people's produced shows because, you know what? It's conflicting. If I don't know you that well, I'm going to go to an open mic, unfortunately. Because I need the practice. But if you're like, let's talk, let's get to know each other, like, I'm going to give them a chance. Like, I'm going to go to your random show. Like, I'll give you an example. Like, I'm not close with Remy or Patrick. Yeah. Really, genuinely. But I'm like, you know what? It's Friday night. You guys are on the show. I want to come support, see that they see me that I'm coming to the show because you know what? It's the nice thing to do. It really is. And it was a great show. I had a great time.
Where was that?
That was that was the last Cabin show, and the Cabin closed 2 days after.
Oh, dude, that's a funny story. You saw didn't you see the closing of the thing? Like, you had a story about that.
What?
Of like how you were passing by the bar and like some crazy waitress said something.
What?
I don't know what I'm talking
about. Are you coming up with bits for the podcast? No. Remember that one time that nothing happened?
But that was a fun show.
Oh God,
I love Cabin. I love that little room.
It's an interesting room because it looks like it was half done. It almost looked like a bunch of carpenters just left in the middle and making the back of the room.
Oh yeah.
And Kip had a really good riff on that. About his just like there's like missing tiles on the ground. It's just like it looks like just a painter gave up.
So wait. So let's stop. Well, I was going to go into the whole how the show. But because we need
to focus on him, and I feel
Yeah, we're. So are you single right now?
Single and ready to shingle. Yes.
Yes. Have you like had any relationships in the most recent time?
That sounded like what was that? Let's address the way that you asked.
My name is Dr. Barbara.
Have you
any relationships?
Kind of like not like girlfriend relationships, but like friend zoned relationship where like it's kind of complicated.
It's friend zone. Wait, hold on.
I was friend zoned by a girl, but then she like
haven't we all?
She like then asked me out on a date.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
Whoa, that's cool.
That's really cool.
It was cool. And then
was it cool though?
Then she invited me back to her place to kill bugs.
Whoa.
To kill bugs.
Wait, what? That is probably the lamest way to get someone back in your. That's almost worse than any guys like.
That's a great pickup.
No. If you think it's funny coming from a girl, but you think about if a dude's like, "You want to help me kill some bugs?"
That
sounds a pussy.
That sounds rapey, dude. Like,
hey, you want to come over to my place and kill some bugs?
Kill some bugs.
This girl is the ultimate mindfuck. And then she lives in the Upper East Side, and we walked to the river, and I was like, I'm gonna kiss you now.
No, you said those words.
Yeah, I'm gonna kiss you now, and she said, yeah. Went in for the kiss, she gave me the cheek. And then
I'm done.
And she was like, "Wait, you want to kiss me in the lips?"
Yeah.
Oh.
Kiss you on your mouthpiece.
So now I'm gay.
But is that that's true though? Like she.
Very true.
That's. Oh my
Yeah.
God.
Yeah.
You want to kill some bugs and maybe drain away your.
But like
cock?
that's it. Girls do that all the time, dude. There are girls like I don't understand. Like,
But we love female comics.
this is I'm like I part of me I wish I was gay
Me too.
because it would be so
It
much
make life so much easier.
And but I'm attracted to the vagina in a way that I can't explain.
Insert his bit. So my mom said I love broccoli.
No, that joke. I hate that joke.
No, that's a great joke.
But like, what would be your ideal like woman? Like,
Would you date someone? Ideally, I know I'm cutting you off before you answer, but there's something to think about. Do you think you'd be more comfortable dating a comic, or would you want someone who's a non-comic who's very supportive of you?
I think I could do both. Like 2 girls at the same time. Like one comic. No, I don't know.
Great set, babe.
yeah.
I really love what you do.
I don't know. I think I could definitely date a girl comic. But I definitely would want someone that would appreciate my humor, but it kind of keep me balanced at the same time, not like laugh at all my shit and kind of like.
You want a girl who's gonna be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, you want to be. I think ideally, if you're gonna date a female comic, like I feel like it's a team effort too. Like along with the relationship, it's like you want to support both ends.
Kip and Glennis.
Yes, beautiful
are
example.
the perfect
Power
example
couple
of how can like
the
two,
Beyonce and Jay-Z of open
yeah,
mics.
dude, those guys are like such an example for like everybody. Like
They do bits with each other. That's awesome.
Absolutely.
I wish I could do that. With
every
a girl.
time she goes like, my boyfriend wanted to finger me, and like I'm like, what? And we know him. He's right
He's
here.
right there, and he's literally like, just like nodding ever so lightly. It's like, oh fuck, man, that'd be awesome.
They're great. Like they're like that's exactly what I want.
You want to date a comic? You think?
Like a girl
you want to date Glennis Sorrell. Is that what you're saying?
No. I'm just saying like that, dude. Kip is a lucky guy because she's such a good girl. But that's exactly what I'm saying.
I'm an asshole.
But like like they're supportive and like they understand the long-term game. You know
Sure,
what I mean?
absolutely.
Like how many girls you've gone on dates and like as soon as you mentioned the fact that you like stand-up.
Are you asking him like how well is he doing with women? Just say it. It's like, do you do well? Are you?
I crush Poon.
Do you put it on a skewer and just put it over the barbecue?
I'm streaky. I go through phases. I think when I'm like confident with my stand-up, I'm confident with girls.
Have you gotten laid because of an open mic?
After the Good Day New York thing, I was very confident. And I got some gals from that.
Really?
Nice.
Just
They
just
randomly
talk.
saw you?
No, I just
You throw it in there.
Tell them I was doing that. I'm famous now.
It was funny. We talked about that. I'm like, when we like started to develop a little relationship over Facebook, just talking, and you were saying that how like you have haters, and I'm like, that's so cool. It's such a time right now. You haven't been doing it that long, and you're running people who are talking shit about you because they don't like that you have that you got a credit. Like, who cares? Be happy for someone. Like they're doing something just because you've been doing it long, and you're not making maybe a valiant effort to meet the right people at the right time. It's all about timing. You could be doing it for 9 years and not one person picks up the phone for you.
Oh.
But if you're not making an effort, like.
Yeah, and also after that, besides luckily getting some random girls from it, I haven't gotten that much, like career-wise from that. It's not like I'm been propelled into stardom from that. It's just like a lucky.
He was on Good Day New York. Give it up for Jesse Eigner.
Seen him around town.
Seen him around town, all in New York City.
But I think part of having some haters is because I'm not very sociable, and people think if I don't talk to them, they think I'm better than them.
Yeah.
But I'm more just like kind of antisocial.
I mean, that's such a stereotyping thing that. That's not
But
you're physically profiling someone just because the way they are socially doesn't mean that they're not. Like I could say about anybody, but I've made friends with most people who I think hate me at first. Probably do. I'm not gonna lie. I can't see myself.
But you're very like you're a
Someone
social
hates you.
guy. Like you talk to people. Like you're like likable. So like you climb on everyone's like, oh yeah, the cool guy. Like everyone.
No one says that.
Well,
am I wearing like a Letterman jacket?
Hey, cool guy. Yeah,
It's like, hey, Brad. Hey, like, what am I, Fonzie at Climate? Knocking the jukebox, playing the good
it's
songs.
Brad over here. Come on.
Can I get the waitress to talk to me nicely? She, like, playfully hits on me.
Oh, my God. He was so mean.
Blonde?
I hate that. No.
Raven?
Yes.
Raven, she's so hot.
Name drop.
Name drop. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't do
Who
that.
cares, dude?
See?
This is where it's become. This is where it's gone.
You don't know who listens, and it's like
Raven is not gonna. She works like 10 days a week.
She will listen to it.
I'm gonna tell her about it. We have to.
It's like we're talking
listen
about
to that podcast exactly at the 45-minute mark.
hate-
Brad's gonna drop your name, and you're gonna.
Is that what it is? Great. No, but back to what you're saying about just dating in general. I just feel like at the end of the day, I think female comics, picking this lifestyle at least, they're the ones who are going to understand you the best.
Yeah.
Say what you will about a girl who's very supportive, which I wouldn't mind it. They'd get sick of it after a while. How they don't? Like, look at Louis, man.
Sure.
Oh, yeah.
That girl was probably very supportive of his career, and then they realized that he was his life.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
it probably caused I'm not speaking on Louis' marriage. I don't know what happened. I don't know him.
Are you friends with him?
We get coffee on a daily basis. It's just very interesting. And you want to just think that divorce happens at least in comedy, that it comes, because comedy is your girlfriend at the end of the day. It is your wife.
Is that why he was divorced, though? Because of his comedy career?
I feel like that plays a part of
Yeah,
it. I mean, there's probably tons of things, but I think that is definitely a part of it.
I've noticed this. Like, if you listen to, like, Chris Rock's or, like, Louis or Kevin Hart's special from, like, 10 years ago, they're, like, talking about their wife, like, oh, marriage, oh, whatever. And then you listen to the specials now, it's like, I just got divorced. It's like,
Oh, yeah.
what the fuck?
And it's like, oh, wow, shocking. Wow.
Yeah, like-
It shows it's the evolution.
It's like a timeline of, like, oh, I'm going to get married, and then I'm going to get
It's
divorced.
about being married, and then I'm going to be in the middle of a divorce, talk about problems with being married, and then when you get divorced, like, so I'm divorced now. Like,
Yeah, because this is how you should talk about things that are relevant to that
most truthful
time
to
of
you.
your life. Yeah.
right.
And Louis, like, he's a very honest guy. Like, he's just like,
Maybe that's a problem. You grow so honest.
yeah, but like I've seen most of his stuff, and when he first started the first 10 years of his comedy career, it was just like regular jokes.
It's like Subway. We watched his Comedy Central Presents a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and
I was like,
it's a different.
I was blown
Yeah.
away because I'm like, this is not him.
What
And-
year was that from?
2000 something.
Yeah.
The very early 2000s. Like, he still had a good amount of hair on the side of his head. Like, it almost looked like he just lost the top of his head.
But like
pre-Louis.
the evolution was like, he had this like some sort of like change that made him like so good. That and people say that it was because he saw Chris Rock like he was out of town, like he went like on the road for a year, and then when he came back to New York and he did like a set of The Cellar, it was totally different material.
Sure.
It's very dark, it's very honest, and very truthful.
And that was like, he says that's the thing that made him go like, oh shit, how do I do that? And then he did it.
I saw him at Whiplash 2 weeks ago. He's just like so.
I saw him a month ago, and it was like,
It's unbelievable. It's mind blowing. He's so comfortable and literally just like. His bits are either so complex or just so like simple about like wiping your ass.
Yeah.
And both are equally hilarious.
Equally funny.
and
Yeah.
there's so much thought that probably went into it.
Yeah.
That people are like, oh, that just seems so like anyone could think of that. No, they couldn't.
Yeah.
So wait, so who's your top 5 of like comics that you're like?
I always rotate. Like probably right now, I really like Rory Scovel.
Okay, he's very funny. He's on Undateable.
Yeah.
You watch Undateable.
I've seen a few episodes. I like it.
I think it's the only sitcom I like right now. I could never say that. The only last TV sitcom I laughed at was How I Met Your Mother.
Yeah,
I like him.
big fan.
But
I met Neil Patrick Harris, guys.
Oh God, I'll go into that.
Go on.
So keep going. Yeah, go on.
My top 5.
Yeah.
Probably put Louis up there.
Okay.
Nice.
I kind of grew up on Dan Cook. I like Dan Cook a lot.
Interesting.
I like Dan
It's
Cook.
very interesting. No, it's
Because it's Louis and Dane, like two totally
And
different.
that was
No, but
before I started doing stand up when I loved Dan Cook. Probably when I was a teenager. Sarah Silverman, I probably should have said first.
nice.
Okay.
Probably Letterman. I love Dave Letterman.
Did you watch Dave Letterman's like old stand up? Have you watched it?
Yeah,
before?
on YouTube I've watched a lot of his shit.
How was it? I've never actually got a chance to watch it.
It's really weird. He's got really weird, like wonky style.
Well, he's a wonky host.
He is wonky.
I don't want to come down on him because I know you love him.
He's
like your
amazing.
dad.
He's probably the best.
Talk about Dave, and he's just like, oh, dude.
I like how cold he is. I like how just like
He's very honest.
very honest. And the best is in interviews, I think, because he just like
He'll say
he
something.
won't warm up to people like celebrities because they're celebrity. He'll just keep people honest.
Yeah.
And the other thing is, like, I hear he's very particular. If he hated someone, he's like, I don't want them on
Yeah.
the show.
Yo, the thing, like, when Bill Hicks was supposed to air his, like, whatever,
Yeah.
5 minutes on Letterman, the program refused to show it, right?
Yeah.
And then Letterman capitulated, like, recently and showed it.
Yeah.
And apologized to Bill Hicks' mom.
She was on the show. I
Yeah,
saw
which
that.
was amazing.
That's unbelievable.
Because, like, that just means how good of a, like, he like, admitted that, yeah, I effed up.
Some PR bullshit. That's what that was.
Yeah, and then you watch the set, and it was, like, it was fine.
Yeah.
No, I mean, it was edgy for the time.
Sure.
I'm sure it's still edgy, though. Like, Bill Hicks is very edgy, but like, he's so honest. And that's what I've really grown to like him since you started showing me Bill Hicks. I'm like, this guy is crazy.
Well, he's just like
He's
the kind of
legendary.
comic that even if you don't like agree or you just don't, you just have to listen to it.
Sure.
It's definitely something to give you a rough perspective of something of like a George Carlin-esque.
Yeah, it'll make you feel something. I like comedy that at least make you think about something or feel something.
It's good to have jokey jokes after a while, but then after a while you're just like, okay, I need to hear something honest. I need to hear a point of view.
This is what's fascinating about Bill Hicks. You listen to his stand-up today, and it's
spot on. It's crazy.
Relevant. He talks about the government, same thing.
Well, Carlin does the same thing too. And Carlin, I mean, like, listen, Carlin died, only so long ago, but still at the time, it was still the media blow-up age.
Oh, yeah.
Like everything was coming about and it was getting worse.
All right, so let's do the recaps. What was the...
Rory Scovel, Sarah Silverman.
Dane Cook.
David Letterman.
Louis. Done.
Interesting. It's a very mixed... That's
you have
good.
a girl. Not many guys have, like, girls in their top
I like
five.
girl comics. Even though I don't watch them, I like them all.
I wouldn't say they're my top 5. I don't have a top, like, favorite of girl... I do have girl comics I love.
Yeah.
But I don't know if they're in my top 5 because I don't religiously listen to them. Like, we can both hands-on agree that Gary is probably one of our top favorites.
Oh, yeah. Gary Goldman. Yeah.
Gary Goldman. Nicest guy.
We met him.
Really?
Yeah.
Where'd you meet him?
So
together?
I want to tell this one.
Tell the story.
I got this one.
Go nuts on that story.
Okay, so I'll give a little background. I spoke to Gary via email when I first started. I wanted to what's the way of getting to know this, how to do this.
I did that too.
Email
your favorite comics.
Favorite comics. I heard from 2. I heard from Steve Byrne.
I'm not sure.
Okay, so he answered me. He's pretty big. And Gary answered me, and I got connected with this girl, Liz Mealy, who's also a brilliant female comic.
I know that name.
So nice. Gary went back and forth with me. He answered my questions, and I kept asking, and he kept answering. I'm like, oh, this guy's really taking time. He would, reciprocate on Twitter to me, right? Like favorite, retweet, whatever. And we're supporting him, kissing his ass, whatever. But we love him. He's so funny.
Is it at Gary Goldman? Is this Twitter handle?
Yeah, at Gary Goldman. At Gary Goldman. And so we go. Sandy hits me up. He goes, "Hey man, I need a wingman tonight. Let's go to the Olive Tree. The meeting of these girls I met last night when I left."
Ooh,
I'm like, okay. Sounds good. He goes, when we get there, he's like, "Oh, we might go to the Cellar." And I'm like, "I don't want to go to the Cellar tonight. It's too much money." By the way, the Cellar is very cheap on Sundays. It's $24 for a ticket.
Yeah, it's good.
It's a very good deal.
Drinkman?
The 2-drink minimum, but it's only $24 to see a show.
That's not bad.
That's not bad at all. So we go. We're at the Olive Tree. And we're waiting for these girls, and we're grabbing a table. Where we walk in, and there's Joe Mackey, Gary Goldman, and Joe List. And I'm freaking out finally because I saw Gary pass me one time. We saw Gary live, and we saw Gary's tapes special as well this year. So we go to sit. He goes, "Oh, go sit at the table. I'll see if the girls are here." So he goes to the bar, sees the girls are there, and they're like, "Oh yeah, it's gonna be 5 of us." And the girls start. I see Santi. I don't know what he's saying, but I know what he's saying. He goes, "There's my friend over there. Go sit with him." And this motherfucker leaves me to go talk to Joe List because Joe List was doing the show in a couple weeks. So he goes, "Hey man, I'm blah blah blah. I'm Santi. I'm a douchebag. I just went around with 3 British girls who don't know me." And I'm freaking out. So then the waitress comes up to me and says, "Hey, you're 5. We're gonna move you over that table." I'm like, "Here's my opportunity to go up and try to talk." And I go up to Santi. I'm like, "Hey man, they're moving tables with us." And Gary's right there, and then he's laughing and talking to Gary. I'm like, "What the fuck's going on?" And Santi, nicely enough, goes, "Oh, by the way, this is Brad. He's my friend. We also do stand up." And I'm like, "Oh, Joe, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you, Gary." He goes, "Yeah, we exchanged emails." Comedy boner. My heart's pounding. I go, "This guy."
He remembers it.
You hooked it up though. Was your opening line?
Oh no, I was just talking to Joe List.
You went right to Joe List.
And I didn't even know Gary was there. I was just like, "Hey, Joe, how you doing?" And I'm Sandy. He was like, "Hey, Sandy, how's it going?" And I'm like, "Yeah, the show on, whatever it's."
So you had booked him before?
Yeah, before. So I was like, very excited for the show. And then he was like, "Oh, great, yeah, I'm looking forward to it." And I was like, "Yeah," and then he was like, I said, I knew he was going to Montreal to headline the Comedy Nest. So we started talking about that, and then Gary's like, yeah, the Comedy Nest, whatever. And I'm like, was that Gary Goldman? And I was like, oh, dude. Hey,
that is so cool.
I was like, dude, I like my sis, and we love your shit. You're so good. And he's like, oh, thank you so much.
Did he recognize you?
Yeah, and then he said, well, what's your name again? And I was like, oh, Santi Espinosa. And he's like, yeah, you've retweeted a bunch of. Oh fuck, that's me being super excited.
It's all good. There's so many liquids
and
here.
Boners.
And just I just came. And then he's like, oh yeah, dude. And then we met, and I was like, oh, dude, he's so humble. It was just so crazy.
It was and that's a part of comedy. Oh, the best part, actually, no. Before we get into that, the best part about it was seeing Joe Mackey's face the entire time because not one time did we turn
not
like,
talk to
hey
Joe
man,
Mackey,
I'm
which
Brad.
is because I like him too, but I was like,
no, I don't.
how dare you?
I'm gonna be honest, I don't. I'm not a fan. I've seen him go up, and I get it. He's got a character. It works. People think he's funny. I'm not gonna put him down. I just don't enjoy him. Like it's not.
Yeah,
it's not my cup of tea.
It's not
my cup of tea.
done.
But I didn't care to introduce myself because I'm like, I'm not really crazy
I
about
just
him.
care what
So you're saying fuck Joe Mackey.
Yes. No. I'm sure he does.
Yeah, burning bridges all the way.
Oh my god!
All the way.
My career is done after this podcast.
You're Jewish.
Thank
You
God
don't have
I'm
to
a
worry about
nobody.
nothing.
Thank God I'm a nobody, because then years from now, if anything picks up, they're like, "Hey, remember that? I'm gonna be like the Trevor Noah. Like, remember that one podcast you did? You just talk shit about every comedy club owner.
We're gonna make it weird. We're gonna have
every
Joe
comedian that
Mackey
you
for the
didn't
next
like."
episode. Just hey, Mac, you want to do a podcast and just have Brad just
Well,
offer.
folks, go fuck yourself. Like, yeah,
Cup of tea to his face.
you're not my cup of tea, douchebag.
Oh, how dare you?
No.
That's a great story though. You guys went to the table. The
Yeah.
comedy
We went to the
Well, I mean,
All-Trade
I
and
had a
Net
connection
Comics.
with Joe.
Sure.
And then accidentally ended up meeting one of my favorite top 5 comics of all time.
And that's just that's a starstruck moment, because I've met celebrities and I have this weird heart-pounding feeling. And I didn't really like them that much, but knowing that it's a guy you watch, you admire, you will listen to his stand-up up and down, or woman, whatever, and you meet them, it's like that surreal feeling, like they're just a person.
Listen, this is the best. And I was like, hey guys, sorry, we gotta really go to our table. Like there's girls waiting for us. And then both Gary and Joe go, nice. And I'm like, oh,
That's a cool moment.
I got approval from my heroes. So this is
They were being sarcastic.
maybe, I don't know. I took it as a boner.
I took it as a boner. Yeah, girls waiting for you.
Yeah.
You see how Sandy has his hair now? It's like trying to be Joe List. So he
Yeah,
can walk around.
just
You're going to see him a
become-
week from now. He's wearing glasses.
Just
And then he's going to fuck up one of his teeth. No, I'm kidding. I have fucked up teeth too.
Yeah, that's funny.
So I guess we'll kind of come to a closing and ask some brunch-related questions.
Ooh, spicy.
Brunchy.
So, what is your favorite brunch spot, man?
Brunch spot?
Yes.
Ooh. Have you guys ever been to Friend of a Farmer?
No, never heard of that.
Really good. Right by Gramercy Park, like 19th and Irving.
Okay.
Really nice omelets.
Do they have bottomless?
It really does.
No.
It's one of those that's like, you could have a mimosa for $12.
I'm not a big, I guess brunch is meant for you to get fucked up. But
Oh, no, it is.
Yeah.
It's a hangover helper.
If we're looking for that kind of, I like PS 450. You ever been there?
I've heard of that, but I
The
haven't.
place is
been
really good too. They have bottomless.
there. Okay.
Yeah.
What would you say is your go-to brunch drink?
I'm a Bloody Mary guy. I love
Really?
Bloody Marys.
Nice.
Spicy Bloody Marys.
Have you any of those crazy Bloody Marys where they put like a slider on it?
Yeah.
I've seen those. They're insane.
Piece of bacon.
Yeah, in
Those are
the
the
Bloody
best.
Mary. That's awesome.
Like a whole meal. But I don't, it's weird. I don't like tomatoes. I don't like cold tomatoes, but I like Bloody Marys.
That's
just the story of my
Yeah,
life.
See-
when I hear people say they like tomato juice, I'm like, oh, so you like drinking pasta sauce? I don't get it. I really, I sipped the Bloody Mary and I almost vomited on the table. It was disgusting. I'm sorry, but I respect you for trying.
I appreciate it.
What would you say is? You said omelets. Are you an omelet guy?
I'm a pretty big omelet guy.
I love omelets.
Nice, yeah.
Like my eggs. I like a veggie omelet.
yeah.
California omelets. Very
California omelet is very
A
popular.
little avocado.
I love that. But
Sounds
what
delish.
do you for brunch like items? What is like your go-to thing?
Well, I always go for the California. I like it. French toast, big fan.
I like French toast.
Yeah, that's it.
I wasn't asking for a grocery list. I was asking what it was.
That's the first thing I learned how to cook French toast. Fun fact for you guys.
Really?
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
How do you do it?
How do you make French
Are,
toast?
are you shitting me right now? Is that a
Okay, we're gonna
sick-
wrap it up. Yeah, whatever. I just after the pot, I don't know how to make
I'll show you
French
after
toast.
if you want.
Isn't that unbelievable? He has a kitchen in this fucking place.
That's amazing.
It's
And a dishwasher. There are people who would murder people for a dishwasher.
You have a dish. Where's the?
It's right
It's a-
under there.
it's a
It's a small
miniature
miniature
thing.
I thought
dishwasher.
that was the fridge.
Where's
the fridge?
I have
No,
two.
it's next. It's like he's got a beer fridge and he's got a regular fridge and then there's a dishwasher.
I'm telling you guys, work in finance. You'll
Oh, you
know.
son of a bitch.
Very nice.
I guess lastly, maybe close out. Do you have any like funny brunch stories that maybe like has happened to you?
A lot of my friends are alcoholics, so they usually show up to brunch already very drunk.
What? You pregame a
That's
brunch?
so
No,
fun.
but
Hey,
like-
let's get fucked up and go to brunch, brother.
They'll be drunk from the night before.
Oh, I thought you were saying like people were slugging vodka and they're like, let's go to brunch. I'm like, what is wrong with you?
I just had my friends just be just drunk bastards.
So you have any shows coming up?
I think I'm gonna do Freddie G's open mic coming up.
We have, I guess we didn't mention before, so we have Comedy Matters coming up in June.
Yeah.
Come to Eastville Comedy Club on Comedy Matters Ball.
What's the date?
It's June 9th.
June 9th. You heard it, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Who's headlining that show?
Headlining the show would be Mark Norman.
Wow.
Yeah, it'll be fun, guys. Great lineup.
Great pickup. And, I will be on that show as well. I guess just saying thank you so much, dude, for doing this.
Thank you for having me. This was awesome.
Fucking head,
Appreciate
dude.
it,
Handshake on camera so people know that we're official. Tune into this. We'll let you know when we're coming up soon with another episode. So you should be hearing this a couple Sundays from now.
Yeah.
I believe. So,
think so.
Thanks for tuning in. I'm Brad.
And I'm Santi Espinosa.
Have a nice day.
Bye-bye.
The Brunch Buddies was produced in part by Marshall Ross, Brad Stoll, and Santi Espinosa. Technical Director, Marshall Ross. The Brunch Buddies Podcast was brought to you by...
Insert sponsor here.
And viewers like you.